What up? What up? What up, world? I'm Classic Mike, and welcome to the Get Right Fantasy Network. This is our Sunday morning show for those who don't know. Today, we will help you guys with your start sit questions throughout the show. So please make sure you guys leave the comments in the live chat, and I will get to them throughout the show. We're going to answer any of your start sit or anything like that. Most trade deadlines have already passed, so hopefully we can, talk to you guys about setting up your lineups today. We're also going to go over active and inactive players at 11:30. We will discuss some DFS value picks, things like that. We're also going to go over some storylines and news and notes to get you guys ready for today, kind of help you guys get an idea of, who you want to use today. Also, just, for people that aren't aware, there are 4 teams on buys, this week. Tampa Bay Bucks, Jacksonville Jaguars, Seattle Seahawks, and Miami Dolphins will all be on a bye. So you're missing out on guys like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Leonard Fournette, Tom Brady, Travis Etienne, DK Metcalf, all these guys, Tyreek Hill, Waddle, all are going to be on a bye this week. So for those, a lot of people are going to have a lot of questions for their lineups. So if you have any, leave them in the chat. We will get to them shortly. Also, just want to start doing my own, make sure that we are bringing up our sponsors. And of course, make sure you guys check out these guys right here, Underdog Fantasy, and use the promo code GETRIGHT. And when you do, they will match up to $100, 100% of what you put in. So put in 50, they'll give you 50. So make sure you guys are using them. They have great pick 'em props. Great player props as well. We can do those later if people want to. But also make sure you guys check out our other sponsor as well, and that's TrophySmack.com. So if you don't already have it and you guys don't have like some type of trophy in your league, get one. And this is the best place to get it. They have things like custom rings. They have things like trophies. Of course, you can customize all these things as well. Chains, and of course, the belt. So if you guys don't have it already, make sure you guys also use this same promo code right here, and they will help you at checkout. Also, want to just bring up our other affiliates that we have on this show. First, check out the Check Down podcast with Cody McGoats and the crew. It's Wednesdays at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. They are also doing watch parties on Monday. Really great show. They do great things over there. Make sure you like and subscribe to them as well as to us. So make sure you guys do that. Make sure you guys check out Colin at WAGMIFantasy.com. He also has rankings. He has links to his audio podcast. And he also has his weekly newsletter. Newsletter. Yeah, it's early, guys. Winning with WAGMI. So make sure you guys sign up for that. Also, check out Tim and AJ on the Fantasy Frontline on YouTube and on Twitter. Make sure you guys subscribe to his show as well. All the links for these guys are in the description, so make sure you guys check them out and like and sub to their stuff. What's up, Albert? Hope all's well, man. Glad to have you here. Patrick, as always, here to join me. Yo, Miami last week. I know we some of us had good days and some had bad, based on who you faced. So let's get started with some of the storylines and news and notes from at least since we've been here on Wednesday. So big storyline, of course, is the Bills and Browns game. That got moved to Ford's Field. It will be today at 1:00. There was a lot of, who knows, they got 5 feet of snow over there. So if you have anybody that lives in Buffalo or saw the videos, check them out on, I've been posting consistently on my Twitter, retweeting all the things that have been going on. Bills Mafia. You guys deserve a lot. You guys are some of the best fans out there. You guys literally were shoveling out your team, the team and the players to make sure that they can get to their flight, and the whole city of Buffalo really helping out. So they had 56,000 seats, I think, at Detroit. They sold out in 48 hours. Like, that is unbelievable. Really great to see it. You should see the pictures of Orchard Park right now. I mean, everything is just, um, you know, under 5, 6 feet of snow. So everyone's safe. Everyone's there. They got there without any hassle. Uh, Beyond that game, the Bills and the Giants and Lions game. That's the only game that has any type of weather involved that could really hamper the day. They have about 40-mile-an-hour, sustained winds here and there. The stadium's big. It can kind of block it, but it still will be windy in the stadium. It's not like years ago when it used to swirl consistently. So there's still going to be a little bit of a factor. But at the same time, Giants are just going to keep doing the run game. And that's probably what's going to happen. So Saquon owners, enjoy. Cardinals and 49ers, they're going to be playing on Monday night. They're going to be in Mexico City. Could have a little bit of rain, but other than that, everything looks good to go. Some other news and notes from around the league. We got Kyler Murray is listed as questionable as of right now. Colt McCoy is not listed on the injury report. I don't think that Kyler Murray plays. And honestly, if you are thinking of starting him, I wouldn't. I would probably move on to a better option or another option just because it's the Monday night game. So it's a little bit tough, for me. Next game is the Broncos and the Raiders. Apparently, Nathaniel Hackett finally got it in his head that he's not doing such a great job of being a head coach and realizing that you can dictate. And what he did was give play calling duties to quarterbacks coach Clint Kubiak. He's called plays before. He called them in as a Viking. So that he'll be taking on play calling today. So maybe we'll see a little bit of a change. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Anytime you kind of mess with Russ, he seems to, have a different perspective. I listened to some radio show that he's still using, Seattle Seahawk audibles and things like that. And, teams or the players are like, huh? Like, I don't know, man. I think he's just having a hard time getting out of Seattle. So, it's one of those things where, keep an eye on it, but it should be something relevant moving forward. Right now, the other game, and one of the questions that, Ray is getting into, he says, "What up, Mike? Go Big Blue, Everett banged up, or Pitts?" And we're going to discuss that now because Mike Williams, he's questionable. He's missed the last few games with a high ankle sprain. He's listed as questionable. He's expected to play. He looks like he is ready to go. They said that he should be playing. Now, this is a 8:00 game tonight. This is the Sunday night game. But the other part of this is Keenan Allen. He hasn't played since week 2. And he is listed as questionable. He plans to play, but right now the coaches have the final call. I don't see him playing. And even if he does, I see him limited. So Keenan Allen, I wouldn't have in your lineup. I would try to find a different way about it. But as it goes towards this question, Gerald Everett banged up or Kyle Pitts. I mean, I think you're a little nervous to wait that long for Kyle Pitts to play. Or sorry, Gerald Everett to play. Pitts is in a decent matchup against the Bears. I think he can go. I think he could be okay. I think that game is going to be, more points than what people think it's going to be. So for me, I think, and you guys, if you watched the show before, I am not a big fan of Kyle Pitts, but I rather play someone that I know is going to play than a guy that is going to be a little bit banged up and, might not get as much run as you might think he might, or he could re-aggravate. So Kyle Pitts is healthy. He's out there. I think you have to go with him, unfortunately. Spirit, what's going on, man? Hope all is well. Start Drake or Foreman today. So we got Drake going against the Panthers. I think that might be your best bet. I'm playing Foreman, but I don't have Drake anywhere. But at the same time, I do think that Drake has been doing well in this offense. Gus Edwards is They keep saying that he is going to be a game time, that if he looks good in warmups, he'll play, but he'll be probably limited. So Gus Edwards could factor in a little bit here. Foreman really doesn't have much other than Juba Hubbard. This game, I mean, the game is listed as 41. 41 is the over under. It went down recently. I don't know. For me, I'm probably going to stick with Drake here for now. I have Foreman listed as, where is he on here? I'm at 16. I have Drake at 25. I don't know. I think they're going to have to abandon the run at one point. I mean, yeah, I think I'm going to go with Drake. I know I have Foreman listed as higher, but I might go with Drake here. Drunk Squidward, what's going on, brother? He says Joshua Palmer or Peoples Jones. That's a great question. To be honest, I like Palmer a lot. He's healthy. Peoples Jones is healthy as well. If Njoku does play today, I'm a little bit nervous about Peoples, even though he's been doing really well even without him. So for me, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I think I might move towards the better quarterback, and that's Joshua Palmer with Herbert. So I think I'm going to go down that road. He's healthy. He's going to play. But I think I'm going to go down that road. Patrick goes, if Everett has 0 projected points in ESPN, I pulled him out. That's why my tight end had picked someone up. Oh, okay. So yeah, you got it. It's going to be tough to play someone like Everett if if he's going to be projected that low. I haven't heard anything to the contrary of him not playing today. Let me take a quick look at what news I have about it. Yeah, he was downgraded. So when you're downgraded on Friday, yeah, I'm not playing him. I'm not playing Everett. You got to go with it. I'm trying to read. Sorry. Oh no. Colts have another O lineman out. He just got rushed to the hospital this morning. That's tough, man. What's going on, Perry? Yeah, I love being here, man. Love having you guys here. He goes flex, Brian Robinson, Drake London, or Osborne. I'm going Brian Robinson. Easy. That one was easy. Thank you. I need an easy one every so often. Brian Robinson against the Houston Texans. Do it. Perry also asks, Dolch or Komet? Oof. I've been all week has been that question for me. It, in my rankings, I have them literally 6 and 7. I like both of them today. I think Dolch is a little bit more. I think he'll be used a little more. I think Cole Kmet is touchdown dependent. He only averages, I think, 4 targets a game, something like that. So I'm not against either one of them, but I really think, oh my God, that bet against the Colts today. Oh man. Right tackle and left tackle are hurt today. These guys are hurting with injuries on that O line. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna go towards Greg Dolch. I'm gonna go with the rookie here. Yo, Mike, Jonathan Smith saying, "What's up? Do I play Najee or Gabe Davis?" Ugh. Najee going against, who is he going against? Going against the Bengals. DJ Ritter's back. Their O line is just horrible as well. Gabe Davis. Okay, so I'm gonna put it to you this way: if you need a floor, if you're like you're a projected to win by a lot, then play Najee. If you need a ceiling guy, if you're like an underdog, like I am in a few of my matchups this week, I might go with Gabe Davis because he has the ceiling that is infinite. He has a infinite ceiling, but his floor is kind of capped. He's one of the lower floors that I can go with. Najee at least has a decent floor. So if you're looking for a floor play, sorry, go with Najee. If you're looking for a ceiling play, I would go with Gabe Davis. Oh, going with the kicker. All right. So I'm going to play Bass here. That's a no-brainer. Bass is in they're indoors, easy. Outdoors, Patriots actually are outdoors today. They have a windy day. For all those who are out in New York today, they got 40-mile-an-hour winds, if not higher. It shouldn't affect it too much, but it will affect it nonetheless. So for me, I am probably going to be um, I'm going to be sticking to not playing him. So trying to figure out why Bass isn't available. Who has Bass in my league? That's why. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to go with Tyler Bass. Real quick, easy. And it's finally Keenan time. Or do I play Mont St. Brown and Boyd over him? Yes. The answer is yes. You do not, you cannot, I cannot sit here and tell people to play Keenan Allen when I don't even know if Keenan Allen's going to play today. I can't play Keenan Allen today. So you cannot play Keenan Allen. Ahmad should be fine. Boyd should be fine. Their matchups are good. I'm not worried about that. Drunk Squidward asks, do you think Hollywood Brown plays today? I mean, they activated him, so I do think he will play, and he plays on Monday. I do think he plays. I do think it's that game is a little bit interesting. Uh, DeAndre Hopkins popped up on the injury report Thursday, and they said it's maintenance and so on and so forth. I mean, he didn't practice on Thursday, which is their Wednesday, but I think he only got a limited in the next day. And, they're still in between on what's going on. They still got to travel. They still got to do all that. So honestly, I think Brown plays, but I don't know about Hopkins. I'm a little, if you have Hopkins, you better have somebody behind him. Sorry for the hard question, but oh no, that's not a bad question, man. I liked what you had before here. The Najee and Gabe Davis. I mean, Gabe Davis is probably your best answer. So, should I play Davis if I'm projected to win by 7? Ooh, that's a tighter window. Yeah, I mean, if you think that he can have a better day, like my whole thing about this particular match, like I said before about Gabe Davis, I love Gabe Davis. I mean, we all know that. I mean, we're giving away his jersey for God's sake. I have to bring that up. 600 subscriber giveaway. We're giving away a signed Gabe Davis jersey. We are only like 15 subscribers away. So please continue to help with the channel. Tell your friends. Just say, hey, guys, I love, there's this great show, great guy, gives you good advice, or at least some decent advice every Sunday night or every Sunday morning. So please, we just need 15 subscribers and we can give this thing away. I've been holding on to this all season long. Can't wait to get rid of it. Not because, I want someone to win this. I want someone to have it. So make sure you guys do it. But should you, it's a coin flip. It's a coin flip. Davis is not guaranteed the touch. Najee is guaranteed a touch. He is now kind of splitting the backfield with Jalen Morton. It's basically a 60-40 split. I mean, it's tough. I mean, the Bengals are, they're a decent run stopping team. Cleveland has been beat all over the place. And he's in a dome, like Ravi said. So Ravi says, Gabe Davis in a dome today after being projected to be in 6 feet of snow. I'm rolling him out across all my teams. Yeah, it's hard not to play Gabe Davis. So just do it. Just Rafi agrees. We all endorse it. Do it. Rafi goes, Drake or Pachenko? Man, you got to go with Pachenko, man. I like Drake a lot. Like, I think Drake should do fine today, but Pachenko has the best scenario possible. I have him at 24. I do have Drake at 25. But I like the matchup better for Pachenko. That the Chargers don't have a D line. And basically the only person that can tackle anyone on their team is Derwin James. So for me, I'm going to go with Pachenko. And if you're in IDP leagues, if Derwin James is there, get him. Perry Williams again with a Bengals, Saints, or Commanders. So with the word that we just got Let me see. Bengals, Commanders. So for me, I'm gonna go with the Saints, and here's why. Now, Cameron Jordan is out. That's the only caveat to this. I do like them even with him out. I like them more when he's there, of course. But for me, I honestly think the Saints are going to have one of the better days. I mean, the Rams are pitiful against anybody, and all you need is sacks and interceptions, and I think that they can give him pressure. There's no more Cooper Cup. They're going to have to do their best to try to scheme things a little bit better. I don't know if they're going to run the ball because they don't have Ben Allen as their center. So they're missing a lot of pieces. I think that whole O line is one big mishmash. So for me, I'm going to go with the Saints anywhere that you can, especially DFS. So Jonathan Smith goes. I also have Sutton and A Rob. So either of them are more safe. Yeah, I'm playing Sutton and A Rob in one of my leagues. I actually those are my wide receiver 2 and 3, unfortunately. Drunk Squidward goes Cardinals or Vikings defense. Interesting. Vikings D has been doing very good lately. I don't mind the Cardinals defense. They actually one of the higher scoring defenses in the league as of the last, I think, 5 weeks. So for me, I mean, San Francisco's healthy. It's so hard for this question. They're going to all be traveling. I think it's going to be a defensive game nonetheless. I mean, right now the game is 43 points over under. It's the lower of the two. Vikings game, it's going to be insane. That game is going to be crazy. That's going to be the equivalent of the Buffalo Viking game, I think. And especially with Justin Jefferson being a little banged up. I think I want to say the Cardinals, but this is a toss-up for me. I'm going to go Cardinals, though. Ew. Don't ask that question. Jonathan Smith goes, I've never thought I'd ask this question, but Fields or Burrow? Got to play Fields, man. I love Burrow. I have Burrow on my team. I'm playing Fields. Got to play Fields today, man. You got to ride the hot hand. I mean, a lot of people, we had questions with Lamar Jackson and Justin Fields. The guy with Lamar had Fields available, picked him up, just had him on his team, and then they had to figure out, who do I play? And Fields is not a bad choice, man. I'm a little upset. I tried to get him a week before, he blew up, and I couldn't, and I lost out on Fields, and I was a little upset by that. But at the end of the day, man, the guy's good. Give him his credit. And it's mostly his rushing floor. He can't throw for anything. He gets 187 yards passing, I think, each game, but he runs for 150. So it is what it is. Jonathan Smith says, I never bet on the Saints defense. I would. Today, I would definitely bet on them doing well against the Rams. That's just me, though. But we'll see. We got actives and inactives coming up. We got about 7 minutes. They usually trickle in a little bit earlier sometimes, but we have those things going on. Some other news and notes for the Baltimore Ravens. It looks like Mark Andrews is expected to play today. Like I said before, Gus Edwards is not likely to play, but we'll see what happens through the pregame warm up. Like I said, if he does play at all, it would be limited. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's listed as questionable, barely practiced this week, but will play today against the Vikings. The other big question is Ezekiel Elliott. So he practiced most of the week. I think he was limited for most of it. But from what Tom Pelissero has said, he said that the plan is for Tony Pollard to get more touches, and they will ease Zeke back in. He's got a brace on his injured knee for Zeke. So Tony Pollard, man, this kid's good. The Vikings are pretty good against the run. They're a little weaker against the pass, but doesn't mean anything. Devontae Adams, he was limited all week this week with an abdominal injury. This is something to really keep your eye on. They're already banged up all over the place. That's not a good thing. I mean, Mac Hollins is probably your best bet. for that, or Foster Moreau if you have them. These are two decent, players that you can fill in if need be. But I mean, this game's at 4. So if you have Devontae Adams, you better have some type of backup just in case. Um, Other news that came in today, I hate hearing it, but it is what it is. The Cowboys and the Giants have emerged as the two favorites to sign Odell Beckham Jr., who plans to visit both rivals after the Thanksgiving weekend. So for me, I mean, do I want him to go to the Giants? Of course, we could always use the help. It's not like he can't be involved. Would I want him to go to Dallas? Hell no. But I think that today's game is really going to be a deciding factor of where he goes, because this will figure out who is where and where, if they lose and, the Commanders win, they get closer. So uh, it is what it is. I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. So we got Junk Squidward going, Cameron Dicker or Greg Zerline. So Zerline is going to be, where is he today? They're at New England. Like I said, a little windy there. Cameron Dicker is going to be indoors. He will be right. Yeah, indoors versus the Chiefs. Oof. Dicker's been doing pretty good lately. Ride the hot hand. Zerline isn't horrible, but the wind scares me a little bit. I'm going to go with Dicker here. Whenever there's a kicker question, I usually will defer to the stadium. And if it's an indoor stadium compared to an outdoor stadium, I'm going to lean towards the other, the dome. I mean, and, team and all that. But in this case, Chargers can move the ball a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to go with Dicker. All right, clearing the pipes for when we get these inactives and actives coming in. All right, so apparently, I mean, we're just getting some little things coming in. Mark Andrews is out there warming up without sleeves. It's freezing out there. No Gus Edwards, so it looks like most likely Gus Edwards is inactive. If he's not out there warming up, it doesn't look like he'll play. But Mark Andrews should be a go today. Thanks, Mike. You're the only guy that answers kicker questions. Hey, man, I told you guys a long time ago, I like kickers. I like, every other platform I've ever listened to or any other show that I've listened to, they hate the kicker. Fantasy football or the fantasy footballers, I love them to death. Though they kind of like put it in there with Jason's boom boom kicker of the week, and it's usually just whoever's the best that week, or whoever's like higher projected. But I really do like the kicker position. They score the most points on the team. So for me, yeah, I'm always here to answer those questions, man. That's what I love. Martin and them do IDP, I do kicker. For those who don't already follow Martin and the guys at Dynasty Pylon, Martin and Mark, make sure you guys check them out. They are great for IDP. If you don't already, if you're in a IDP league, check them out. Martin is one of the hardest working guys out there. He does a lot, literally 24 hours a day. That guy is working. He's on right now with the Nerd Huddle. They're doing their Sunday morning show. They're always going at around the same time as us. They always kind of kick guys over to me at 12 o'clock. I'm usually here till about 12:30. So yeah. Jonathan goes, do you like Connor to start today? Yeah, no, James Conner is going to play. Like, they have no one else. I mean, James Conner is definitely going to play today. Not today. He'll be playing on Monday. I have him at running back 22. He's more of a, running back, I have him at running back 22. He is probably a running back 2 more than your running back 1. But if you have no other, options, Connor, you're fine. Like, there's nothing you can do. He's going against the San Francisco 49ers, one of the better teams against the run. You can't really, unless you have better options, you're going to have to play him. There's nothing you can do about that, to be honest. So we should be getting actives and inactives in a minute. And like I said, this is going to be kind of a quick, hopefully, rundown of everything. It's going to be rapid fire. So for a few minutes, I might not answer your questions, so don't worry. I will have all the answers you need. Cam Jordan. Oh, yeah. So, like I said, Cam Jordan isn't going to be playing today, and he actually loses his Iron Man streak. Ugh, it sucks. It's kind of like Eli's thing, but at least it was an injury. Well, it's him and Najee. Yeah, I'm going to go Connor over Najee anyway. Like, Connor is just a better option, better offense, better everything. I think I have Connor at 22 and Najee at 28. So, yeah, 12-year streak, man. I've always liked Cameron Jordan. So, all right, we got a bunch of actives and inactives here. Jets, Corey Davis is inactive today. He will be out of your lineup. There are a few other guys that no one really cares about. Bills, actives and inactives. They're going to be losing a lot on their defensive line, it looks like, or their defensive team. Greg Russo, Tremont Edmonds, AJ Klein, Tre'Davious White, Elam is going to be out. That's a huge hit. Load up your Browns, man. I'm liking Chubb today. I got a little Chubb for Chubb. Sorry. We got AJ Terrell is going to be active today for the Falcons. That's big. He hasn't been active the last few weeks. Detroit Lions, they only have Josh Reynolds out that anyone cares about. He's the only one that people would probably care. Like I said, it looks like Ndamukong Suh is going to be active for the Eagles. That's kind of big news, but they said that he would be in between. Looks like Mark Andrews will play today. Gus Edwards is inactive. So Gus Edwards will be out of the lineup. That means Kenyon Drake should be fine. Excuse me. Looks like Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph, two early additions to the Eagles, will be playing today. So at least their run game might be might be helped by this. They've been kind of getting beat in the hole. So yeah. Dr. Clutch, what's going on? He goes, yo, Jarvis Landry or George Pickens, PPR flex, got Godwin and Fournette on a bye. I like Pickens. I like the player. Landry is a little tough to do right now. Landry, honestly, I mean, going against the Rams isn't a horrible matchup, but I like Pickens a little bit more in that scenario. Looks like David Njoku is active today, so you can load up David Njoku. He is coming off injury, so be aware. Looks like Velus Jones for the Bears is going to be active today. Lamar Jackson and Andrews are officially active. So Lamar was a little bit banged up, but he is he's going to be active. Gus Edwards will be inactive today. Cameron Jordan, like I said, Marcus Davenport out too. So their edge rushers are going to be out. Marcus Lattimore is going to be out as well. So they lost a lot on their particular line. Mark Ingram is going to be out. It doesn't list if David Johnson is going to be there or not. It looks like Damian Harris, Devontae Parker, and David Andrews are all going to be active for the Patriots. That's big for their offensive grouping. But Stevenson is the lead guy there. All right, Blurpy. For all those who are asking this question that involves Tony, it is Tony. Play Kadarius Toney today. I like Chris Olave. He's going against, I think he can beat Jalen Ramsey, but Ramsey doesn't really follow much. Kadarius Toney today, just Kadarius Toney. That's the answer. Kadarius Toney. Dr. Clutch says, I also have Elijah Mitchell, but I still think I'm leaning Pickens. So, as I say a lot, and I will say it over and over again, for me, it's guaranteed touch. Pickens is not guaranteed to touch the ball unless, like I said, Pickett has to get him the ball. Handing the ball off is much easier than throwing it down the field however many yards. So for me, like I said, I don't mind Mitchell in this game. I think Mitchell has been used pretty well. I mean, he came out of nowhere And if I look at the numbers, I think he was used 60-40 with I think it was 60-40 last week against who they faced, the Chargers. So let me just take a quick look. So Elijah Mitchell was in for 35% of the snaps, which is I mean, good coming off an injury that he was out for 8-9 weeks. So for me, that's not horrible at all. I'm looking for, where is he on here? Oh, there he is. And Christian McCaffrey was in for 65%. I don't want to tell you, it's a risk playing Elijah Mitchell, but the matchup isn't horrible. Pickens isn't a bad matchup either. I like either or. It's kind of a coin flip for me. So Drunk Squidward goes, do I still play Peoples-Jones with David Njoku playing, or Joshua Palmer with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams expected to play? Now, I don't expect Mike Williams to play today. Or sorry, Keenan Allen to play. So honestly, Joshua Palmer isn't a horrible option. So I would probably pick Joshua Palmer, but they're right neck to neck to me. Like Peoples-Jones is not bad at all, and he's been used. And that defense, as I just told you, they're beat up. So for me, I might lean Peoples-Jones here, regardless. I think they're going to have to keep up, and do what they got to do. So, all right, it looks like Jordan Poyer's up for the Bills. That's big. He was questionable coming into this matchup. Wan'Dale Robinson is active for the Giants. That's good to know. But yeah. I also have Deontay Johnson starting. So if I start Pickens, I'm hoping Pickett. Yeah. If you have Deontay Johnson going, man, I might lean Elijah Moore. Yeah, I can't endorse investing in the Steelers defense. It's too volatile. Or sorry, offense. It's too volatile for me. Like it's going to change every week. I might lean Elijah Mitchell and he's more of a floor play though. Definitely a floor play. He is definitely someone that you're like, I'm going to get 8 to 9 points, maybe, if that. And they're going to just run. He's going to be the quick, yeah. Look who it is. Oh my God. It's my buddy Worm. What's going on, Nick? Sorry, I can't call you Nick. What's going on, Worm? He goes Sutton, Garrett Wilson, Deontay Johnson, pick 2. I'm going to go Sutton and Garrett Wilson here. Just off the top of my head. Raiders, horrible defense. I think, and Judy's going to probably most likely be out. It's a 4:00 game, so we won't know about that. But right now, even with Judy questionable and coming off injury, yeah, I can't call you Nick, bro. I can't do it. But I'm going to go with Sutton and Garrett Wilson for year 2. Not Deontay Johnson. It's hard not to play Deontay Johnson, but Garrett Wilson's been doing good. Did well against the Patriots last time. There really is no one else to throw to there. It is a little windy there. That's my only caveat. I think it's windy in both stadiums, but for that, yeah, I'm going to have to go Garrett, playing better. So is that your dynasty team? Am I picking your dynasty team today? No, I have Sutton. So no, it's not your dynasty team. It's another league. So glad to have you on here, Worm. Glad you're listening. We're going to do some DFS value picks in a few minutes. So if you guys have questions in general, just throw them in the chat. We will get to it soon. I'm going to just load up my DFS stuff and we'll go from there. Oh, it is Chris Scanlon. Thanks, Chris. I'm here to comment on that thumbnail selfie with the with the aviators. That's some great. Thanks, man. Thanks. I've had those shades for quite a while, man. I've had those. Yeah, I've had them for a while. So thanks. God, you guys. Anyway, Dr. Clutch, Terrence Marshall is on the waiver wire. I could start him over others, but I also have DJ Moore. Yeah, I mean, Terrace is just more of a bench play that you can grab. based on how you feel about it. I mean, it's based on your other options, to be honest. I do like him a lot. So thanks, Scanlon. We'll talk later. Get into the DFS one that we just sent out. We need more people in there. We only got 7, so get in there. So get in there. Try to beat Brian. Our buddy Brian is 2 weeks in a row winning our DFS thing that we do every week. So get in there. Try to beat him. I sent the link. You already have it. So thanks for coming in to watch me for 5 minutes. All right, so we're going to go, and I mean, you can stay if you want. I'm going to do some DFS value picks and give you guys some options that you guys, can choose from. Let's load it up right here. So we're going to be using FanDuel as always. Going to use those prices for you. But first, let me answer Dr. Clutch real quick. He goes, this most likely has nothing to do with my lineup. But what are your thoughts on DJ Chark? He's coming off IR this week and is active. I mean, I've always been a fan of DJ Chark. He just hasn't had a moment to do well. Josh Reynolds is out today. Chark is going to be active and playing. They have Khalif Raymond that's also going to be in there. I like DJ Chark a lot, but I'm not going to play him. He's just more of a guy that I would store on your bench just as if the guy goes off, I have him, so I don't have to worry about waivers. But I like Chark. I like DJ Chark. He's always been I've always been a fan of him since the Jaguars. So Jonathan goes, I know it isn't that important to you, but how do you feel about the Saints? How do you feel about the Saints or how they dealt with Winston? If he's not healthy, they shouldn't be playing him. I mean, 4 fractures in your back. It's not like it's painful for him, and he's not 100%. They shouldn't be playing him. Honestly, they should be playing Taysom Hill. Now, that's just my own opinion. I've liked Taysom Hill from the beginning. I don't understand it. And for one, Dennis Allen is a defensive-minded coach. Wouldn't you want to keep your defense off the field and run the damn ball a little bit more and have more plays made for Taysom Hill? You pretty much are in a situation where you game plan him out of the game. Andy Dalton is okay. He's serviceable. I've always liked Andy Dalton as a quarterback, as a real-life quarterback, not as a fantasy quarterback. At the end of the day, he is not doing what you need to do to win. Taysom Hill is a baller. The guy does not care. He puts his body on the line. I really think they need to use him more. And it's not because I have him in leagues and I want to see it. I like him as a football player. He should have got the starting job to begin with. They paid him in a weird way. Oh, I'm going to make you a tight end now. Well, he's a good quarterback. It is what it is. Jonathan goes, I like Taysom, but sometimes he tries too much and it backfires. I completely agree, but they need to design things better for him and make it so that he can, be involved more often. They literally play, Andy Dalton more than they should. I mean, hold on one sec. I gotta look at this for my own sanity here. So I'm looking at the usage of how much they play Andy Dalton, and because they list Taysom as a tight end, they're not going to show it. But Andy Dalton is listed as 91% of the snaps. So that means that at least 5 to 6% with the tight end. Let's double check where he is on here. But Taysom Hill is out on the field 40% of the time of those 90. So, and they don't even get him involved. They don't even throw him the damn ball. They don't even hand it to him. They don't do anything. It is what it is. Jonathan goes, our playbook is way too complex. It's the same one that we used from Breeze. Yeah, you can't see. That's the other part about it. So I know the offensive coordinator was the same one that was there when Sean Payton was there, and I understand that. But Sean's gone, and you have a different team. You don't have Drew Brees anymore. Drew Brees is a 1 in a million guy. So why don't you try to make your offense work for the players that you have. Wouldn't you think that would be the smart thing to do? I mean, that's honestly, that's been working with the Giants. I mean, Brian Daboll has come in, kind of, tailor made the offense for Daniel Jones. And yeah, it's more of a run first type system, which we weren't expecting. But hey, it's been working. You can't just run what you used to with different players in the fold. Like you can pick up Andy Dalton, but what does he do? He's not Drew Brees. He can't throw the ball accurately like Drew Brees can. So John goes, I hate when Hill has a 40-yard run. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I say every time. He has a 40-yard run and they go, you're out of here. Like, no, they take him out on the 2-minute drill too. And I sit there and I'm like, the defense has to account for him on the field at all times. Him and Olave should be out on the field at all times with Kamara, and it shouldn't change. Now, Juwan Johnson, I mean, he's been doing his thing. He's a borderline wide receiver that's just, bigger than a normal wide receiver. But at the end of the day, man, I don't understand why they can't get him in. So, Will Hayes, who should I start? Flex. Okay, so who do you start in your flex at a PPR? MVS, Elijah Mitchell, or Claypool? So like I tell everybody, and I know, Will, you've been here 100 times. I like the guy that's guaranteed the touch. In this case, it's more Elijah Mitchell, but I understand for PPR, it's probably not what you're looking for. I think Claypool is getting a little bit more involved. If I had to rank these a little bit, MVS is also going to be involved today. I don't think he's going to get as much run as someone like Tony. But for me, MVS is probably the better answer. I think MVS is the ceiling play for you. Mitchell is the floor play. Claypool is kind of in the middle for me, so I'd probably go MVS, Claypool, and Elijah Mitchell. That's just me. So, speaking of Juwan Johnson or Foster Moreau, yeah, those are great. That's actually a really good question. I have that question for Dynasty, at least for trying to play Foster Moreau, but I have a good amount of tight ends for that league. For me, I think I might lean a little bit more towards Juwan. I might lean a little more towards Juwan. No, I got to go towards. Man, that's a tough one. Worm. That's a tough one. They're back to back in my rankings. I mean, for my rankings, I got them at, where is he? Foster Moreau. Yeah, 15 and 16. They're right next to each other for me. I have Dewan at 15, Foster at 16. I mean, for me, it's a coin flip. I think that Foster is going to be used a little more. Like I said, Devontae Adams is currently dealing with an abdominal injury. If he's out, I mean, it's Foster, like without even thinking twice. But I know you have to make the decision, your decision earlier because it's a 1:00 game for Juwan Johnson. So I think I might go with Foster Moreau. I think he's not a horrible option. I think he has touchdown upside. I think that game's going to be closer than people think. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. Right now Vegas has it at 41.5. It's not bad. Saints game is lower and it went down mostly with the Rams news of losing out on their center. It's at 39 points. So it's not really a huge point difference. So yeah, I'm going to go with Foster Moreau. I think he has more opportunity in that offense. So, yeah. Thanks, Worm. Appreciate it. So we're going to move on. Like I said, we're going to go to some DFS lineups. Try to, find those little value picks that can help. Of course, if you want to use guys like Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, or Justin Fields, I'm not going to tell you not to use those guys. But if you want to kind of spend down on the quarterback and you don't want to have to pay up for him, a couple options that we have here are Russell Wilson. And I just mentioned it before. They're going to be playing the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders are one of the worst and give up the most points to tight end or to QBs. And to be honest, I think I was reading something that they've given up at least 16 points to QBs every week. And it doesn't matter who the QB was. So for me, I'm focusing probably more on that. I do like that particular scenario. So he's not bad at $6,900. That's kind of a steal. Taylor Heineke has been playing out of his mind going against Houston. Devin Singleton or Stingley, Devin Stingley is going to be out today for one of their really good cornerbacks, really good rookie. He will be out today, so be aware of that. So for me, I'm going to probably be playing Taylor Heineke without a problem. He's not a bad option, and you can put him with Scary Terry, and honestly, you would get. I think that's a pretty, that's a really good combination in my eyes. Another guy is my guy, Daniel Jones. He's a little more expensive at $7,800. I told you before it's going to be windy at MetLife. So for me, I think they're going to have to run the ball. There's going to be a lot of, RPO and short passes. So for me, I really do think Daniel Jones should be a decent option today if you're looking for some value picks. Yeah, he's really good. But he's going to be out today. So for me, exploit the matchup. Always exploit the matchup. We're going to just keep going on with this particular matchup as well. And we're going to go to the running backs. And like I said, probably the best option if you're going to spend up is Saquon Barkley. Great option. Nick Chubb as well. We talked about all the injuries to the Buffalo Bills losing out. Basically, their whole linebacking core and most of their safeties are going to be out today. Those are really good options. But if you want to spend down and spend a little bit less money, we got Brian Robinson here going against Houston, one of the worst rush defenses in the league. $6,600 is a steal. We also got Devin Singletary here at $6,400. Cleveland is not far behind on the rush defense. So for me, $6,400 is a great price for him. If you want to go lower, which I am shocked, they have David Montgomery at $6,200 against Atlanta today. Khalil Herbert on IR, as you can see right below him. David Montgomery is probably one of my biggest plays today. I'm going to throw him in my lineup that I'm going to make here. David Montgomery is a steal at $6,200. If you want to go any lower, well, no, in this case, if you want to go higher, a couple guys that I'm found as I was going through it. Cordero Patterson going against Chicago, a really good matchup as well. If you want to take a risk, DeAndre Swift is not a bad risk. They've been easing him into the offense. But I will tell you that the Giants are pretty good against the run, but he is not a horrible option. That's a great price point for him at this point. Also, Kenyon Drake, as we just heard, will be the lead guy over there today. So $6,800 is not a bad price for him. Hayden Rittenhouse, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man? He goes TJ Hockenson or Slayton. Hey, man, honestly, I don't mind Slayton today, but the wind is scaring me. He's a deep threat more than a possession guy. So for me, I might go with Hockenson. I know that defense is tough, but they're not going to – I don't see Cousins being – I don't think the game plan is going to go to the outside to Trayvon Diggs. I think they're going to stick to the inside with TJ and load him up. So for me, TJ Hockenson. Jonathan goes, so if I have Olave, do I play him or Hopkins? Ooh. That dude, it's so tough, man. Hopkins, I don't think he plays. Or a lot of people keep saying that he is expected to play. So I can't say that I can't expect him to play. It's just, it's not. It's odd that he didn't come up, or he came up on the injury report on Thursday. It's odd that he was only limited during the week on, I think, Friday. They haven't came up with anything on Saturday. I haven't heard anything since then. Olave's healthy. A decent matchup against the Rams. That's a real tough one. And Colt McCoy is going to most likely be the quarterback. So that's where I'm in between on that game. Wow. Good stuff. Yeah, maybe Olave. See, I can't tell people to play a guy like Olave over, DeAndre Hopkins, who is a freaking superstar. I mean, I have Hopkins at 9 and I have Olave at 11. So, I have them right next to each other. That's a tough one, John. It's a coin flip for me. I'd rather play the guy I know that's going to play compared to the guy that won't play. But I understand, gutting it out till Monday. I mean, the hard part for me is if you're playing Hopkins, you got to have somebody on Monday that can help you. And if you don't have anyone on Monday to help you, you might not want to take the risk. But if you want to risk, as they say, risk it for the, or what is it? Risk it for the biscuit. You're gonna have to go with Hopkins. Drew, what's up, Mike? What's up, Drew? How you doing, brother? He goes, should I flex Dameon Pierce or wait to see if Mike Williams plays? I think Mike Williams plays. Mike Williams seems more active. But I do not mind the Dameon Pierce play. I think Pierce is not a bad pick. So, holy shit. You have Rondale Moore available in your league? Yeah. Pick up Rondale Moore. I wish he was available in my league. Worm, your brother has him, and I wish I could have. I couldn't trade for him because, of course, he, valued him very high, and honestly, I don't blame him. But yeah, if he was available in my league, he'd be on my team. I had him on my team, and I dropped him, but that was because he underproduced the week I had him. Drew goes, also Deontay Foreman or George Pickens. For me, I'm gonna probably lean a little bit more towards Pickens, or not Pickens, Foreman. And like I always, it's full PPR too. That's what always gets me. I usually go with, I'm gonna usually go with Foreman here, just because guaranteed touch, I like it more. Oh my God! Speak of the devil. You guys like sitting in the same house watching me at the same time or something? Jeez. Brothers. I got brothers. I got long lost cousins in here. Jeez. Yeah. No, I know you do. That's why I didn't even try. And yeah, I know Nick, you have him in, or Worm, you have him in Dynasty. So I know you guys. Yeah, look at this. The brotherly love in the house right here. I love it. Love having these two on the same show. Yeah, he's been on and off my bench. Yeah, honestly, I'd pick him up if you can get him. But yeah, Drew, for your question for Deontay Foreman and George Pickens, I think I'm going to have to lean Foreman. The guaranteed touch for me is there. As long as they stay in positive game script, I think they'll be okay. Pickens going again. No, you know what? You know what? I'm going to lean the other way for this one. I think I'm going to go with Pickens. After thinking about it a little more, I'm going to go with George Pickens. Good, decent matchup against the Bengals. Yeah. We're 100 miles away and still know who to come to for fantasy. Oh, that was sweet. That was sweet after blocking me for almost 3 months on my phone, or on the phone. uh, I appreciate that a lot. I do the best I can to help you guys when I can, but yeah, hopefully I can help you guys moving forward. You guys need help on your teams. So back to the running backs. No, we already covered all of them. We're gonna go and move on to the running back, or to the wide receivers. Oh, we've already, so actually I have brought this up. So I'll bring it up now anyway for those who don't know and the ones that I didn't tell. So Worm wants me to go let the fans know what you gave up Justin Jefferson in Dynasty for Gallup. So he's half right and half wrong. I didn't give up Justin Jefferson for Michael Gallup. I gave up a first and second round pick for Michael Gallup, who in our salary cap dynasty league is listed as, well, at the time he was I think $2 or $3 or 4 or something like that. I gave him up. I gave those 2 picks up, and in those 2 picks, he ended up getting Justin Jefferson and Antonio Gibson, and he keeps rubbing that in my face. Yeah. So you're the highest scoring team the last 3 weeks. Interesting. I'm glad I'm not facing you this week. Facing Cali, the team that you basically traded your whole future away for, basically to grab everybody on his team, and you don't even have a shot at the playoffs. I've never seen anybody do that. You're what? You're like 5th place or 7th place now, or 6th place now? I'm looking right now. Yeah, you're like 7th. Oh no. You're 6th. So, and you're 3-7. So, yeah. Oh, it's the brother matchup today. Luke versus Worm. That should be interesting. So we just got news about Rams inactives. John Walford is going to be inactive today, so that just means that we know that Matt Stafford will play. It looks like Brian Allen, who's their center, is going to be inactive as well. That's kind of a big hit for the Rams offense in general. No one else really crazy on this particular list. I don't know why he's listing Jonah Williams. He's on a different. Oh no, he's one of their corners. All right. So who do I got with you facing Lucas? So let me look at your teams. Let me look at the teams in the matchup here. I can't pull this up on my screen, so I'm sorry for all those that are watching that have to kind of sit here and watch me kind of go at it. Right now, Lucas is leading 19.08 against Worm right now. Lucas's team has James Conner, Ezekiel Elliott, Deebo Samuel, Devontae Smith, Mike Williams, Garrett Wilson, Paris Campbell, and Hayden Hurst. Wow, you actually have a starting lineup with no players that are inactive. Good job, Lucas. Sorry, I have to do it. And then we got Worm's got Patrick Mahomes, Dalvin Cook, Damian Pierce, with Kenyon Drake, Antonio Gibson, Rondale Moore, Justin Jefferson, Darius Slayton, and TJ Hockenson. I'm going to lean Worm. I think Worm can win this one this week. That's a good lineup. Really good lineup. Justin Jefferson a little banged up, but he'll play and do fine. But yeah, I like it. Good lineup. Why are you 3-7 right now? Sorry. Anyway, let's get to some wide receiver value picks for DFS. Let's try to get this set up before we get out of here in a few minutes. Like I said, you got a few options up top. You got Diggs, who's a really good option today. We just talked about Justin Jefferson a minute ago. He is a little banged up, but that doesn't mean that you don't play him. We also have other guys below, but this is my big pick right here. This is a value pick if you're looking to get a wide receiver one today. He has been on fire with Tyler Heineke recently. They just lost Devin Singleton. Devin Stingley. He will be out today. So for me, I'm going to go with Terry McLaurin in my lineup. I have him in most of my lineups. I think he'll do really well today. Other value picks that you want to look for, Gabe Davis right below him at $7,100 going against Cleveland. I mean, that's a great matchup. We talked about him before. Just below him, Cortland Sutton at 700 or 7,000. He's good as well. I do like that particular matchup for him. Another guy that has seemed to have gone, just no one talks about him. He's underrated, under the radar. Adam Thielen going against Dallas today. I think they're going to try to avoid going to Trayvon Diggs as much as possible. And Thielen would be that guy, to be completely honest. Thielen at $6,000, not a bad choice at all. I really do like him today. Nico Collins right below him going against Washington in the same matchup. Nico's average depth of target, man, is like 20, 30 yards downfield. And he got about 10 targets last week with, the whole thing with Brandon Cooks. And Cooks has kind of been, odd lately. $5,900, man, that's not a bad choice. Donovan Peoples right underneath him for $5,900. We just talked about the injuries on Buffalo. They have 3 corners out and 2 linebackers and 1 outside edge rusher. I know their defense is good, but that's a lot to make up for. I do like this at $5,900. If you want to spend a little bit more, or spend a little bit less, you got Paris Campbell right here at $5,800. I know it's against Philly, but for me, he plays in the slot. Gardner Johnson isn't horrible, but he's the weakest link for the Eagles on the in their secondary. So I would go with him, even though he does have the most interceptions in the league. I will caveat that. But he is someone to go to as well. Another guy that I really like today, if you want to keep into this Dallas Vikings game, KJ Osborne is a really good option at $5,300. I think he could be used pretty much, I think he's going to be heavily used and underutilized in tournament play. Ben Skoranek is another guy I really like today at $5,300. They've been using him in the cup role. He had, I think, 90% route run, or yeah, I think he ran at least 91% of the routes ran last week when Cup has been out. Or sorry, the week prior when Cup went down, he filled in the same role that Cup did. So Ben Skoranek at that price, I might take him in some, as a really good dart throw. I think he can do well today. Moving on to the tight end, we know Mark Andrews is playing. Dallas is, of course, out. So if you want to pay up for these two guys, they're at $7,000 and $6,500 for TJ Hawk. It's not a bad price for him, to be honest. Going down the list, Dalton Schultz at $5,900. I mean, he's one of my top guys. Cole Kmet at $5,700. They're all within that same range. We know that David Njoku is available, $5,800, not bad with all the injuries they have, but he will be going against Jordan Poyer. Foster Moreau, $5,600 going against Denver. Not a horrible price point. I do like the other side of the ball with Greg Dulcich. He's at $5,500. I think he is a great option as well. Pat Freiermuth, I really like in this matchup. $5,400. He is probably one of my favorite tight ends to use this week. His low price point, and he will be utilized quite often today. So I do like Pat Freiermuth a lot in this matchup. All right. So, yeah, we're going to move on to defenses as well. If you guys have any other start-sit questions or any questions that you want me to answer, don't hesitate. Throw them out into the live chat. I will get to them when I'm done with it, giving you some defenses to look for. One defense that I really like today, of course, is the Baltimore Ravens. They're going against Baker Mayfield. $4,700. Not a bad price. They're the third highest. If you want, Eagles are probably the best option today at $4,800. I might just throw them in there, see what I can do. Right now they have two rookies on the end or two fill-in guys at the end for left tackle and right tackle. So they're good. But if you want to spend down a little bit, New Orleans Saints are a great option. I do like the Saints a lot. I do like the Pittsburgh Steelers as well at $3,800. I mean, honestly, the Steelers have TJ Watt back, and we do know how much Joe Burrow has been sacked all year. So I do like him a lot in this matchup. If you kind of want to go to the other end of the spectrum and kind of play a very low end defense, the Raiders aren't horrible. They give up a ton of points, but the thing is that they do get sacks, and I think you can sack Russell Wilson. Max Crosby has been playing out of his mind. He's also a great DFS play, or not a DFS play, a IDP play if you have him. But I would definitely go with the Raiders. That they're not a horrible option. Ant would probably tell me no, but they're not a horrible option. But I'm going to stick with the Philadelphia offense here. Since we kind of, let's figure out what QB we're going to use. I think I'm going to use Justin Fields here. Pair him up with David Montgomery. That's not a horrible stack for me. I might want to use Cole Kmet here, but I think as we talked about for the tight end, I think I'm going to go with Pat Freiermuth just because of the low price point. Gives me a little bit more room to play with. Running back wise, I think we have a lot of options that we can go to. I can spend down a little bit so that maybe we can use the flex. I do like Devin Singletary here. I'm going to use him in this option. Then we're going to go to wide receiver. And we're going to find a decent option here. Like I said, there's a lot of value in the lower numbers. I do like Donovan Peoples-Jones today. I think I'm going to throw him in the lineup and see how much money we have left. We got $7,600 per player. That's not horrible at all. So we can spend up a little bit. We don't have to go crazy. Allen Robinson's not a horrible option. Tyler Boyd as well, at least for the week. We got Gabe Davis. You know what? I'm going to throw Gabe Davis in for that particular matchup. Why the hell not? And then that leaves me with a lot of options with $8,100 to fill out the bottom end. I can go with Ramondre Stevenson, not a bad option. A few other guys. Alvin Kamara is here too. But the Rams are pretty good against the run. Deontay Foreman and all that. I don't want to spend too much or too little. CeeDee Lamb's a good option too. So I think I'm going to go with CeeDee Lamb here. And we'll see how this lineup goes. So enter the lineup, get that in there, and then we'll get back to answering your questions. Oh, of course. My internet's been funky. That's why it was doing that. Okay. So we have our lineup set. I'm going to do it one more time because it didn't do it. Get that lineup in. So we got Justin Fields, David Montgomery, Devin Singletary with Terry McLaurin, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Gabe Davis, Pat Freiermuth, CeeDee Lamb, and the Eagles defense. I think that's going to be one of my better lineups today. I got a bunch in today. So let's shut that down and get back to your questions. If you have any more questions, please make sure to throw them in the chat. We got Drunk Squid. We're going, is Kareem Hunt worth a start? I think he might be. I have him currently, I think he's in the 20s or 30s for me for this matchup today. Yeah, I have him at 29 today. So he's still in that playable, option. I have him just above Melvin Gordon and Eli Mitchell. It's really based on a bunch of stuff. What's the name of that DFS site? That is FanDuel. If you haven't used FanDuel, use it. It's a great website. Probably one of my favorites that I use. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. But yeah, FanDuel. So Jonathan asks, Brett Maher or Will Lutz? I'm going to go with Maher. I think, indoor game. They're both indoors, but either way, I like Maher a little bit better. Longer. He's got a little bit of a longer foot. And I think that game is going to be, I think they're going to be playing more between the 20s. I think that game is going to be it's going to be a good defensive battle. They have the over under at, where is that? It's at 48 points. So that's pretty high considering more points involved. The other game, the Saints game, is 39. So for me, I'd rather go with the higher point, and in that, it's Brett Maher. So actually, that has me thinking, nope, Falcons game is in the same price point. So I was going to try to figure out who I want to play. Yeah. So if you guys have any other questions, please throw them in the chat. We are definitely going to be wrapping up soon for those that are still watching. But if you have questions, please make sure to throw them in the chat, and I will make sure to answer it. While I have a little bit of a lull here, I will bring up some of our affiliates that I want to talk about. We got the Check Down podcast. Make sure you guys check out Cody McGoats and the crew on Wednesday nights at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. They're right here on Get Right Network. They also, make sure you sub to their channel, and everything is in the link below. So make sure you guys check them out as well. Check them out. Cody over at WAGMI Fantasy as well. He's got his own website up, great articles, great website and rankings with an audio podcast. He also has his weekly newsletter with Winning with WAGMI. So make sure you guys check them out as well. Make sure you guys check out AJ and Tim as well at the Fantasy Frontline podcast on YouTube and on Twitter. Make sure you guys check them out. Great group of guys, great advice. So make sure you guys check them out. Also, make sure you guys are looking at our particular sponsors right up here at trophysmack.com. You can get all different types of trophies from this. You have the rings that you can custom design to the trophies that you can design. Same thing. You got chains if you want to wear a chain, a championship chain, or the belt. Everyone loves the belt as well. And you know what? Even if you want, they have for these things, they have the last place trophy as well. See, they have that little toilet in there. Yeah. Actually, I was supposed to hit this one.
Does your league hold the loser prize just as important as the winner? Then you need TrophySmack.com. Get your loser gear and winner gear at TrophySmack.com. Get yours today. Click now and go to TrophySmack.com.
So make sure you guys check them out. Great site, great material, great everything. They really do have a great quality product. And use the promo code GetRight. And when you do, they will help you at checkout. Also, make sure you guys check out our other sponsor as well. Make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code right here, GetRight. And when you do, on your first deposit, they will match up to $100. So make sure you guys check them out. They have great player props as well. I use them pretty much every week. They have great player props that are actually pretty reasonable with their particular lines that they have. So make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy as well. Also, like I told you guys before, we are incredibly close to getting to 600 subscribers. We are right there. We are still looking to give away our signed Gabriel Davis jersey. Make sure you guys get your friends, get your family, throw anybody in there. We're looking to get to 600 subscribers as soon as possible, and then we can give away this Gabe Davis jersey. So make sure you do that. I think we're only 15 away or something close to that. So make sure you guys help us with that. But we're getting close, guys. We're getting close. Hoping to get to 1,000 soon. So please, we only just need one person to subscribe every day, and we'll get up there. So make sure you guys check those out. Otherwise, if we don't have any more questions, we've kind of hit a lull. I appreciate everybody listening today and joining me on my Sunday show as always. Nick, Worm, John, all you guys, thanks for coming out. Dr. Clutch, the Lario cousins and, Hayden Rittenhouse, all you guys. Thanks, Scanlon, again, for coming out. So thank you all. We will be back tomorrow for our overreaction show. Then we'll be here on Wednesday and Friday again. I'm sorry that we couldn't make Friday. Life came in. We'll see about Friday just because right now we have the holiday weekend coming. So, happy Thanksgiving to all those that celebrate and are going to be hanging out with family. That's the important part for Thanksgiving. Make sure, the other part is eating and ask Worm. But make sure you guys check out our stuff. Like I said, we're going to be here Monday. We might just do one big Wednesday show. We'll see. I got to talk to the guys about it and just make it one big monster show so we don't have to do anything on Friday. Ooh, Brandon. What's going on, Brandon? Brandon Peralta here going start one. Mike Williams, Deontay Johnson, Tyler Boyd, or Michael Pittman. All good options. I do like Mike Williams. To me, if I had to rank them, it's probably Mike Williams, Tyler Boyd, Deontay Johnson, and Michael Pittman. No, Michael Pittman I could throw up there a little bit more, right? Who are they playing? Eagles? Nope, got to throw him down. So, yeah, Mike Williams, Tyler Boyd, Deontay Johnson, Michael Pittman. That's the order I would kind of put them in. You're going to be taking a little bit of risk if you're playing Mike Williams. He's expected to play, but make sure you have at least something Sunday night or Monday night just in case. You don't want to, have him in your lineup and not have anyone to back him up. If you're not comfortable playing Mike Williams against Kansas City, which I think I think if he's healthy, you play him. But if you are a little nervous about the injury and his tag, Tyler Boyd isn't a horrible option. Deontay Johnson, I can interchange either one. They're facing each other. I like Boyd a lot. They use him a lot, and especially with Chase out. Michael Pittman is hard to trust today. Darius Slayton is a shutdown guy. They are really good at shutting down your best option, and especially your wide receiver. Darius Slay is very good. Yeah. I like I said, Mike Williams is the top option if he's playing. The other two are, the mid-range guys, and Mike Pittman, it's hard to trust. But with Matt Ryan at quarterback, his value's kind of going up a little bit. So that's how I feel about that particular scenario. Like I said, it's up to you how much risk you want to put into it. I can't go and tell you not to play him. I think Mike Williams is the better option overall for these guys. But like I said, it's really how you feel about his particular risk. And as I said in the beginning of the show, they said Mike Williams, who missed 2 games, and this is as per Adam Scheffler. He missed the last 2 games due to a high ankle sprain and is listed as questionable for a Sunday night game. It said that he is expected to play. It sounds more hopeful that he is playing than Keenan Allen. So, like I said, it's possible he plays. I think he does. So I think I'm going to pick Williams and kind of just, go into it and be, take the risk. But I would definitely have some other option available just in case. Hope the waivers are open, and if all leagues are different, but make sure you have someone available that you can pick up just in case, and definitely put him in your flex. Don't use him at the wide receiver, just because it limits your options on who you can pick. So, yeah, hope that was helpful, Brandon. But yeah, we're gonna wrap this thing up unless people have other questions. I'll be here until you don't have questions. But yeah, we will be back Monday. We'll figure out Wednesday for you guys and Friday, of course. But normally we are here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then I'm here every Sunday to help you out unless I have something going on. I wasn't here last week. Unfortunately, my grandmother passed away. So I was upstate and, with my family to celebrate her life. She was a wonderful person, died at 90. And she, really upsetting. Glad she's in a better place. She's been going through a lot the last year. So love you, Grammy. Hope, all those watching, she's a great woman. So anyway, enough about the sad stuff. Let's get into the really good stuff. Good luck on your week 11 matchups. I know that you'll be rooting for the Giants tonight. I'll be rooting for them as well. So make sure you guys set your lineups if you haven't already, and make sure you guys, I wish you guys good luck, unless, of course, you are facing me. Like I said, we'll see you next time. Have a great night.